Hello, hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. Excuse me. We are on the day 6. We do the thing. I'm going to double check where I have to go. And it is sadly not the P family house. Maybe in another playthrough. No, we're not doing that. Maybe in my off time I'll find out, but not on recording. Because my little directions say I have to go to the pond. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Millions of years ago, this piece of the continent was covered by the sea. What we know today as the hinterlands was a cavity where deep sea life made its home. When the sea receded, this gash remained, a hole where saltwater pooled and grew stale, being reduced over the generations. The result is a valley below sea level, where soil is unfirm and the farm unfit to farm a single crop. People only settle here to raise cattle, a bloated, sickly breed from all the salt mixed into their rations. And deeper still, at the lowest point, where all sorts of defilement makes its home, is the pond, or rather, a pool of sludge so thick with salt, it can only harbor the most extremophilic archaeobacteria. Nailed it. The further down I was like, did I go here before? I don't know. The further down we went towards the heart, more like the bowels of the hinterlands, the more precarious the road became. The asphalt was cracked at the shoulders and depressed, where heavy trucks had passed over that. Yeah, that's when we heard the first splat. It was loud enough to take me out of the music blaring through the radio, and startled Storm bad enough to make him scrape the car's ceiling with his horns. Got him rolling up the windows immediately too. A green blot smeared itself on the windshield, then another, a wetter splatter, as a bigger mess of guts splattered against it. Boss, you should roll up your window too. I looked up to the side and saw a mass of butterflies fluttering about. God damn it. It's their breeding season. The kid didn't have to tell me twice. Not a minute later, everything became a cacophony of death and guts. We couldn't see anything. I had to stop the car. Into the storm pass, I went outside to clean the windshield. I don't know. What? Yeah, we'll just, like, how long could it take? How long could it take? I wouldn't want to head out there. If I had tried to spray or swipe, it would have just smeared bug guts everywhere. I parked on the road's shoulder and turned off the engines. Sooner or later, the cloud of butterflies would pass, and I much prefer waiting over dying in a car crash. Storm looked all around him, out every window. The butterflies don't usually gather right near the roads, or in swarms this big. Beyond the green and butterfly guts, the windshield was splattered here and there, with their wings splattered out. They looked like sets of eyes. The car's interior darkened further as more butterflies landed. On the side view mirrors, on the windows, and on the windshield, stretched their wings until they touched the glass. Yes, like 1,000 faces watching us, blinking with every spasm and flutter. All the sounds from outside were muffled by their rhythmic beating. The darker it got, the harder it was to say for sure whether the eyes moved to follow us, or if it was just my mind playing tricks. Storm seemed nonchalant, only the slightest bit uncomfortable at being in the middle of a swarm. Perhaps he was used to those eerie eyes looking at them. Bit by bit, the sunlight returned, a ray here and there as the butterflies set off for elsewhere. The swarm rolled away, and a good deal of the goop and splattered wings were gone too. After a quick wash of the windshield, I set off again. Okay. About 10 minutes later, we arrived at the lowest point in all hinterlands, the pond. When it rained, all of the water flowed down here, bringing with it all the trash, dirt, and death it came across on the way down. The waters were dark, but the surface was covered with a shimmering film, almost as if some kind of detergent had been spilled on it. From afar, the pond smelled almost like a dissection lab. It had the lingering aroma of death, of dead things, and formaldehyde. Is that correct? Without any real traces of blood or rot. Up close, however, it reminded me of the times I came across water heavily contaminated by E. coli, that distant, floaty smell of shit. Suffice to say, the entire area smelled like a morgue. Well, I gave a glance, that's what that says. Storm sat down by the shore. He was watching his reflection float on the greasy water. Up further ahead was a tiny path. I almost missed it in the dried brush, but the 3 mismatched flip-flops strewn around nearby made me pay more attention. In the opposite direction, past Storm, the pond ran right up against the cliff wall. Right there, where jagged rock met shimmering water, I saw darkness, maybe an entrance to the cave. We'll just talk with Storm. Something on your mind?
This place is evil.
No shit. It's a pestilence and contamination.
I almost drowned here once.
You swam here?
Not by choice, I was pushed in.
Shit. What? Were some fucked up kids playing a prank on you or something?
No, wit. It was my mom. She went crazy for a bit, brought me here, and pushed me head down. Only let go once I got her, when I got her in the eyes with a hoof. Then she started crying and cursing me.
I put an arm around him. When he squirmed, I squeezed him a little. His breathing hitched for a moment, but he gathered himself. The salt got in my eyes, and it took me 2 weeks to start it. Wait, that's not narration.
The salt got in my eyes, and it took me 2 weeks to start seeing right again. But I swear I saw something the size of a person swimming down there. Think they might be some sort of fish living in this pond.
No way. The concentration of salt makes it impossible for anything but bacteria to live there. You must have been seeing things, or there was something supernatural to it.
Your hotel ain't here, boss. This place is evil and dangerous.
He didn't say it out loud, but I caught the plea to leave in his voice, a whimper underneath the gruffness. I gave the place another glance, searching for anything of value in that cesspit. The only noteworthy detail was a little alcove in the rock wall that contained the pond. Yes, hard to say for sure, but it almost looked like a little cave one could walk into. Storm caught my eye and spoke up before I could ask any questions.
Ain't nothing there, it's just a little cave that goes a few meters in. Whole place is covered in salt from the floor to the ceiling, nothing more.
Is that so? Unruly cunt could be keeping you from your birthright if you... No. He knows the place better than you do. And fuck. Just take a look around. Who the hell could live here? What a particular hellhole. The salt's supposed to cleanse evil, but I've not felt a presence as terrifying as one here, anywhere else in the hinterlands. The land's salt lost its savor, or something. It's all rotten.
Well, the salt they mine here really doesn't taste like anything. That's the whole point. They sell it as some kind of special thing for old people with, like, high blood pressure or some shit.
Perhaps it was some kind of folk remedy in the area, or maybe just local snake oil. Regardless, it was odd. I got up and extended my hand to Storm. Let's go. Before something, reaches out from the water and grabs our feet or something. Okay.
Yeah. You're always underselling yourself, talking as if you're some kind of criminal. I can only assume you've done some stuff you'd rather not talk about, but that's fine by me. But if that's the case, I ain't clean either, am I? You know damn well I've done some shit, including trying to steal your money, and you even looked past that, and praised that I didn't.
He let out a low, emotional, but a sigh half-moo, biting his tongue, and trying to collect his thoughts.
Again, I don't know what you've done, but whatever it is, I don't care. I'll keep following you wherever this adventure takes us, boss. Plus, if you really did something wrong, I'm sure it's only 'cause you didn't have no other choice. But I'm sure you're doing your best, to make it right.
Okay. But then Storm put a hand on my shoulder, and the only thing I could do to keep from blubbering like a goddamn idiot was reach over and hug him. Hugging him had a lot of weight to it. He squeezed the air right out of me. It kept me from sobbing. Thank God he didn't talk more, and I would have come completely undone. I squeezed him back as hard as I could. Maybe not as hard as the damn lummox could manage, but hey. When we let each other go after a moment, I kept my stinging eye pointed at the car's dash. Thanks. I guess I needed that. What you said, the hug, all that. Storm punched me on the shoulder, maybe a little harder than he meant to, but nothing I could handle with grace and composure.
My pleasure, boss. Just telling it like it is.
Okay. I had spent 6 nights in the same room where he slept, but I was still surprised by how quiet he was. Again, you'd expect a big guy like him to snore like a chainsaw, but the most noise he'd make would be a throaty rumble once or twice a night, and a dozen low whimpers while squeezing his pillow. Sometimes it felt like he could read my mind, just as I thought. He did one of those whimpers and tried to curl up, but couldn't because of the seatbelt. Cute. Yeah. Got you 2 ham sandwiches with no cheese or butter, and a big old espresso. Think that'll be enough.
Yeah, thanks.
Didn't think to bring the Hail Mary mug with me, though. So, we'll have to make do with the styrofoam cups. I do hope that they won't disappoint your fine palate, your majesty.
I think I'll survive, my king.
The coffee vapor rose up to greet our noses. I could almost have cried right then and there. It was my first cup of coffee in a week that didn't smell burnt or like stale instant powder. The Storm seemed to feel the same way. He dove right in and almost burned his tongue. We ended up holding our cups in front of the AC to cool him down. The first sip tasted like sex. Okay, sir. Damn good coffee, Storm.
Damn good coffee. And they didn't cheap out on the sandwiches filling either.
I'd never have guessed this truck stop right here would be the best food in the hinterlands. Storm golfed and spoke between chomps, hardly bites, definitely chomps of his sandwich.
Nah, we're on the outskirts of it by now. And the place I want to take you to is just a bit further ahead.
I hope it's worth our while.
No, it will be. Maybe not for the investigation, but I promise you're gonna love it. I was thinking last night about that rite you taught me. The paperclip, the drinking and talking, but mainly the purification one. Seeing as you're all about getting yourself rid of bad energy, I think you'll like what I have in mind.
Is it a salt place or something? Because if it is, I'm not sure it's worth all the time it took to get here.
No, it's way better. It's a neat little place I found while I tried running away a few years back. Ended up staying there for a week or so. Only reason I didn't stay longer is that it's in the middle of nowhere. So getting food wasn't easy.
I guess I could use a proper purification rite after all that bad shit in the hinterlands. I finished my coffee and turned on the engine. I checked if Storm had put on his seatbelt. He gave me a crocked smile, then smirked. And, wait, as he yanked the thing to show it was still locked there and right.
We should have plenty privacy.
Okay. Storm, I gotta hand it to you. This was well worth the drive. Well, a deal's a deal. Guess it's bath time for Birdie. I began to unbutton my shirt and walked on ahead of him. Took us a while to get here, so we shouldn't waste any time, right?
Oh, yeah, boss.
After hanging my shirt on a branch and setting my folded pants on a rock, I approached the... Okay. Storm's eyes, meanwhile, wandered up and down my back. They lingered around my rear, trying to disconcert it from my tail feathers, and not realizing those eyes were staring right back at him. He wants you. He wants you real bad. He's like a puppy, all over you like you're his entire world, wanting your attention on him, even if he dies trying to earn it. And he doesn't look half bad, does he? Swish your tail at him and shut it. Shut the fuck up, you sick freak. I'm all he's got. I can't fuck this up now after all the horrible shit I've done. All the shit he's gone through. Helping him's the only good thing I've got in my life. I need to make it up to him. Make up for all of the years. Shut up, goddammit. Don't fuck this up worse just because you want to get your rocks off. Focus on the right. Cleanse yourself of all the defilement. If so, then it was probably a good idea for Storm to take a dip as well, since it had likely been a pretty hectic week for him. I think you should come in and cleanse yourself too. It's a little more complicated than that. I think this is some kind of defilement that stuck to me during my stay in the Hinterlands. If I'm right, then you might also be covered in the stuff. Maybe more than I am, and this shit can be poison to mythics like us. Just trust me on this one. Storm looked on his left and right, then down and back to me.
Fine, but turn around and close your eyes.
Come on, really?
If you want me to come in and join you, just do it.
I let out a long indrawn sigh, and then made a show of closing my eyes and turning around. Of course, that wasn't exactly any obstacle for someone like me. He hasn't figured it out yet. Just like any old pervert, you're only pretending you aren't looking. Say, how heartbroken do you think he'd be if he found out his savior is ogling him like this? That's what he saw, so that's what had him so down on himself. His gaze went down to his own crotch. He almost tried to cover it up, but halfway through the motion, his hand fell back down, frightened, resigned.
Don't look!
I really do deserve to go to hell. It's just us men here. Why are you so ashamed of your body?
That's none of your business.
I suppose not, but you really shouldn't feel that way. You are, though. You are one good-looking mythical. You know.
My body's weird. You wouldn't get it.
Are you sure about that?
Don't mess with me, P.
I'm not. Not about this. May I turn around?
You promise you won't be weirded out?
I promise, as long as you don't make a fuss about mine. A spark of curiosity, maybe even interest, bloomed on his face.
Oh, you can look.
Almost as soon as I turned to face him, his eyes dropped down to my groin.
You're a girl?
So much for not making a goddamn fuss. I'm a bird, asshole. We're just different. So?
I gotta say I'm surprised, boss. You were a cunt, but I didn't know you're, bad one.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. It's not a cunt, you little shit. It's called a cloaca.
What now?
It's... God damn it. Who knew I was gonna have to give this kid an anatomy lesson? Ignoring the heat in my face, I summed up as much as he needed to know. It's basically my penis stays inside until I need it. Sort of like yours, but the looks of it, just with everything up in there.
Oh. So, not a cunt, but an asshole and a dick. Guess that makes sense.
And what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. Just that it suits you.
No, alright, that was a good one.
So, do all guys like us,
I just looked at him and stayed silent, letting him squirm until, like an adult, he said what was on his mind.
Do all mythics have weird dicks?
Depends. Some really are female.
The asshole.
And dick. Don't forget that part. The kid huffed and pouted at me. But he also wasn't even half turning away from me at that point. With the tension well and truly broken, we could speak frankly with one another.
So, do you have weird junk, I mean?
Let's just say that having some sort of different junk is a common occurrence among mythicals. Growing up must have been confusing for you, with not having anyone to even give you a charm, let alone explain what every mythical should know about their own body. Shit. Look, you're completely normal for a mythical storm. I've even seen what you're packing before plenty of times. I know what that doesn't help a lot, considering you'd rather be human, but you wouldn't look out of place at all among others of our kind. In fact, you'd turn heads real easily. You're a good-looking kid, and can be endearing little shit when you feel like it. The red had returned to his ears, which flopped and flicked and repositioned themselves as he thought. He seemed to struggle through the compliment. His lips couldn't decide whether to pull up into a small smile or down into a half frown. Finally, Storm cleared his throat and forced himself to speak.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Now get your ass over here. That weird sediment shit isn't gonna get itself out of your fur, and it'll go faster if I help. No homo, though. Entirely graceless, he quickly stomped into the water. Once he had waded fully into the deep part, dunked himself and scrubbed his own head for a moment before resurfacing. There was already plenty of defilement flaking off of him.
Geez, guess I really did need this.
Turn around. He did so with still with a lingering timidness, and I moved up behind him to touch his back. His ears and tail flicked as I scrubbed through his thick fur, and getting a feel of the heavy musculature hidden underneath. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't nice to feel a solid body with my hands, and to hear his grumbling, pleasured moos, even as white flakes filtered into the water around us. He had also been lying, but a lot less ashamed. If I said I didn't start to feel a stinging down below, and that I wasn't wondering if Storm was feeling it too, this is your choice. Feel him up a bit and give him a squeeze. Fuck, more than your hips, just a bit closer, and you'll be pushing right into his ass. Kid's probably a virgin, definitely a virgin. Fuck, I wonder how tight he is. Lucky I'm shaped to go in real smooth, just for him. He said we'd got plenty of privacy. Nope. God fucking damn it, stop. Dirty fucking pervert. Sick goddamn freak. You're old enough to be his... Okay, not that old, but old enough for you to know goddamn well you gotta be the responsible one here. Stop thinking with your goddamn dick. You're just helping him wash the defilement off his fur. He doesn't need your defiling him even worse by being a disgusting creep behind his back. It didn't mean anything else. It's not anything else. But what if it is? He really is a good looking guy. And good goddamn company. Listening to me spout bullshit and actually tries to understand. And I already promised I'd get him into school, help him get his life together, even if we don't find that fucking hotel. Maybe it could be a little something more between us. Maybe even... No, you're just a whatever. And even beyond that, he doesn't know a goddamn thing about how the world really is or anything works. He might be 21, but he's still a goddamn kid. He doesn't need anyone like you taking advantage of him.
P?
What? I wince at how strained my own voice sounded. He probably knows. He felt something brushing on him, or heard you panting like a goddamn dog in heat, and knows exactly what you've been thinking about. Here it comes.
Turn around. Let me get your back too.
Okay. That's fair enough. Far enough.
That's far enough.
Don't worry about me. I'm a big boy. I can take care of washing my own self.
Oh, no, you don't. Boss, you did me, so it's fair that I do you, right?
God fucking damn it. I turn around, stiff and just trying to breathe, and waiting to feel his hands on my back. Christ, fucking lummox. You're not a chiropractor. You don't gotta grab that so hard. On second thought, that does feel pretty good. How long's it been since I had a proper back scrub? Wondering pretty low down now. I should tell him to stop, but fuck, that's right, kid. Get down there and let me give you what I know you've been wanting. Wonder how big he is. I mean, he is half Bolin. I grunt, turning my head just enough to give him a nod and stepping away. Storm seemed to get the hint and is half turned away from me once more to focus on the sediment out of his fur. I, meanwhile, scrubbed at my own feathers until they weren't letting out any more of that defilement. Fuck, he really is a good guy. He doesn't deserve... he deserves a lot better than someone like me, but... I should have given him a hug when I had the chance. Thank him for bringing me to this place. Thank him for sticking with me over the whole goddamn week. Should I get him something? maybe take him someplace he can get some good food, good company, and have kind of a good time as someone like him deserves. Just one good thing to make up for all the shit he's been through, make up for everything I've... Hey, Storm.
Yeah, boss.
I just wanted to say... God, what are you, 15? Some strong man touches your back and suddenly you're a bashful faggot. I just hugged him. I had to do something to shut myself up. Something to touch myself, just to stop myself from just staring at him with my body tensing up. That time, unlike previously, he hugged me in return, much more gently. I wish he'd just break my spine for real. It's what I deserve. I appreciate this a lot. You're a good kid, protege.
And you're a good mentor, boss.
When I tried to pull away, he tugged me back to keep his arm slung around my shoulder. We waddled back to shore like that, and not even minding that neither of us had thought to bring a towel. We found a couple big, smooth rocks to lie down on, and shot the shit while waiting for the sun to dry us. All right, I'll end the part here. I'll see you around, everyone.